Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge my allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the June 16th meeting of the Middleborough Board of Selectmen. We are being taped by Middleborough Community Cable Access, and we're being broadcast on both Comcast and Verizon. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And does any member of the board have anything under unanticipated? Any member of the public have anything under unanticipated? Really? All right. Announcements and recognitions. Does any member of the board have anything under announcements and recognitions?
I do have an announcement. The Middleborough Mess Movers will be picking up trash on Saturday, June 1st from 9 to 11 a.m. If it rains on Saturday, they're going to be picking it up on Sunday, the 22nd. And so if you want to help out, you can meet at the town hall at 9 a.m.
I have a couple announcements. This past Friday afternoon, Senator Pacheco had a Business and Economic Development luncheon, and Transportation Secretary Davies was there, and he was talking about the Rotary project that's going to be moving forward in Middleborough. I'm very happy that the state is decided to go with the Middleborough alternative, or the McMahon alternative, which includes a flyover of Route 44. And the interesting part was we nailed them down on a start and finish date. So the Secretary of Transportation has assured us that they will begin this project in the year 2017, and it should be completed by the year 2020. I was pretty happy to hear that. We also got a letter from Miss Biero, a resident of Middleborough for the past 17 years, and she's asking the board and the town as a whole to illuminate some of our town structures in gold this year for the month, or at least the beginning. But Childhood Cancer Awareness Month starts on September 1st. I would certainly entertain a motion from the board to pursue this if they felt that was a good idea.
So moved.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second to illuminate some of the town structures in gold to show our support for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. Beautiful. Tomorrow night, the Cranberry Chamber of Commerce is going to have a event at LeBaron Hills Country Club in Lakeville from 5 to 7. And you can stay afterwards to enjoy the club if you'd like. The event is free, but please register at info@cranberrycountry.org. On Thursday, June 26th at 1 p.m., the Middleborough Council on Aging is having sponsoring a workshop that is Be Prepared for Emergencies. There's a complimentary lunch served at noon for participants. It's presented by the Health Department and the Middleborough Medical Reserve Corps, and topics include shelter in place, preparing a personal emergency preparedness plan, how to build a family and pet preparedness kit, preparing for challenges in a disaster for those needing additional assistance, and participants will receive an evacuation bag with needed items. Reservations are a must. It is free, but reservations are a must, and you can call the COA at 508-946-2490. And here's a quick announcement on something on a topic that's near and dear to me. Mass Wildlife will be sponsoring a Massachusetts bow hunter education course at Wankinko Rod and Gun Club this year. It is on August 21st and 22nd, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on the 23rd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's a very intense class. Gives you a ton of information about hunting in general and bow hunting in particular. And it's a free class put on by Mass Wildlife. You do have to register, and you can register for that class by calling 978-772-0693. Classes are first come, first served, and it will fill up. Jackie, I'll give you all this stuff so you don't have to.
I just did an announcement.
All right, beautiful. That's it for me. Does any member of the audience have anything under announcements or recognitions? Okay. Minutes. I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes for June 2nd, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I'd entertain a motion for the executive session minutes of the same day.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. And for June 9th, 2014, the regular minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to authorize the chairman or his designee to sign the warrants for week ending 6/14/2014.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. McKinnon.
I would entertain a motion for the chairman or his designee to sign the warrants for week ending 6/14 and 6/21, as we have we're going in the summer schedule and we'll be skipping a week. So we want to make sure everybody gets paid.
All right, sounds good to me.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We did have a presentation scheduled at 7:15 with state reps. We're going to move that back to 7:30 to give people a couple extra minutes to get here. So we'll go right into new business. I would entertain a motion to vote on the ISM Leasing Incorporated versus the Town of Middleborough Selectmen.
So moved.
Second, do you want to discuss this one, Charlie?
Yeah, this is the ending of our dispute with Mr. Burke, and I believe that you have
Mr. Chair, when I read this, I saw that we were withdrawing our piece, but I didn't see that he was withdrawing his. It might have been in there and I just missed it.
Yeah, no, both
it-
sides are withdrawing.
Okay.
Does anyone have any comments or questions?
No.
Just so the public knows, this is, we had continued a complaint, a criminal complaint against the controller, I guess, of the estate of,
Administrator, yeah.
the administrator of the estate that was in charge of Edgeway Mobile Home Park for a $100 a day fine for operating without a license. And we were holding that in check to kind of push things along. Since that time, I think this well over a year ago, the residents have purchased their own park, and that complaint's no longer necessary, but we have to file this to officially be done with it.
This also wipes out a counterclaim that he was making against us about the same issue.
Right.
So it's a quid pro quo wipeout of evildoers.
Yep. Good riddance. So I have a motion, do I have a motion and a second?
You have a motion. Do we have a second?
Do I
Yes.
have a motion?
You did
No, we have a
second?
second? All right, I have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chairman, could you explain that again? My name's Brian Giordano. Could you explain what you were just saying? This will wipe out all that garbage once and for all, and we don't have to deal with this anymore?
It wipes out the
Sorry.
criminal complaint that the
Okay.
board had filed against because it's no longer relevant.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I'd entertain a motion to authorize the chairman to sign and issue a memorandum of decision regarding the Edgeway Homeowners Association Incorporated and ISM Leasing, the trustee of Edgeway Real Estate Trust.
So
Edgeway
moved.
Realty Trust.
Second.
Same type of thing. There we go. And I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to authorize the chairman to sign a lease agreement for property off of Wareham Street.
So, that was pretty anticlimactic, wasn't it? Jesus, it was like, whoa. So moved.
Second.
Sorry about that. We went through 5 years of hell here.
Just like the song says, Steve, let it
Simple
go.
motion.
Just let it go. Charlie, do you want to
I'm not
talk
good
about
at
the,
that.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, this is actually a license with the property owner next to the DPW yard that we've been renewing every so many months, and this will take us through the end of the year.
all right. Any comments or questions from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, passes unanimously. And I would entertain a motion to,
No, that,
no, vote to approve? Is that a typo?
yeah, that's a typo.
I would,
But
We're going to cancel that.
we're not going to act on that because that would have
oh,
only,
yeah, it's irrelevant.
it's moot.
All right. All right, I would entertain a motion to vote to award the SER Surges DPW Supplies IFB contract regarding Class 1 bituminous concrete patching mix and hot mix.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Chairman, I believe this is the last, DPW services contract we have to do this year, and
Next to the last.
Hmm?
This is the next to the last. The next one will be the last. Somebody's got to point out these errors.
So we have, thanks for that, Steve.
I've tried.
Do we have, I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to authorize the chairman to declare IT department equipment as surplus as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. You okay? You're not even wearing a tie in your one.
Like Snicker. It's not right.
Want me to read that again, or you?
No, that's okay.
All right,
You
so
go.
I have
I
a
got
motion
it.
and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Milton?
this is a big list of CPUs and flat screen monitors. I know these things trickle down into other departments, into the library and places like that. And I was just wondering, do these eventually, when it says to be disposed of?
we actually dispose of these. Yeah,
Okay.
these aren't, what we can repurpose, we do.
We
And
do.
as you
That's
say,
what I
when we
figured.
buy some new equipment, sometimes we can take the older equipment, give it to somebody else, but this stuff has been sitting on the floor in the basement for quite some
Okay.
time, so.
Thank
Just
you.
that we haven't, they haven't gone through the process of getting it declared surplus, and they're doing that now.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to approve payment of an invoice in the amount of $4,504.50 to South Coast Media Group.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to authorize the town manager to sign a proposal from Cabot Risk Strategies LLC for police and/or fire accident coverage effective July 1st, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Charlie, you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah,
about
this is the insurance coverage we have on our full-time and part-time and seasonal police and fire officers. And we've had that coverage through a company called BFIS for a number of years. This year, we asked for an alternate quote from Cabot. Cabot came in not only as the low bidder, but they're offering to double the amount of insurance we have for medical claims. So the previous policy had a limit of $50,000, and this limit is actually $100,000. So, that's a good thing, and, just makes sense to change carriers at this time.
All right, sounds good. I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I would entertain a motion to approve the 82nd 4th of July parade on Friday, July 4th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any comments or questions? Looking forward to seeing you all there. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. I'd entertain a motion to vote on the 2014-2015 annual appointments as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I don't have to read this, right, because it's as presented? Beautiful. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. All right. Let's see. Want to do correspondence real quick?
Because you picked a week when we had, what, about minimal correspondence.
We got 6 minutes. That's what we wanted, we wanted to
Drag
get
this
rid
out
of,
for 6 minutes?
Anyone?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. McKinnon?
you want to do number,
Oh, we are going to do correspondence?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Number 2,
drag them out, don't you?
I would like to congratulate Lori Rutherford. She's going to be the new shop steward for, let me get the correct,
Clerical and COA.
clerical COA union. So, congratulations. It's an important position. Number 1 was, let me get to it here. The local emergency planning committee met and you had your tabletop drill.
We did. And I think it was very successful. We had everybody there. We had good communication with the gas and electric division. We played out a scenario of a tornado strike here in town, and there was a very good flow of information back and forth through the entire system. So that was what we're looking to see how it would go, and it I think went very well.
Excellent. I noticed in the letter they were talking about safety inspections of town dams.
Yeah, and we've done that. We went out with the engineer who advises us on one of the town dams, and he's gone out and looked at the others, and we had a meeting with him, I think about a month ago or so, where we just reviewed the steps we'll have to take just to make sure we're in compliance with the state requirements relative to dams.
But everything's looking good?
Yeah. I mean, we have reports to file, so we have to make sure we, give them what they need when they need it, and we have to evaluate. We know the Pratt Farm dam needs a little work, so we're going to have to evaluate what we have to do there. So.
Okay. Great. And then, as Mr. McKinnon was alluding to, number 6, we have a posting for a data processing administrative technical assistant. The deadline for this is tomorrow, June 17. But the town's accepting letters of interest and resumes for the position of data processing administrative technical assistant, responsible for performing hardware and software troubleshooting, day-to-day operations of data processing department and maintenance of department files and records, coordinates and/or performs training programs for system users on appropriate applications, coordinates training and instruction for new and existing programs. Qualifications are a bachelor's degree or equivalent, minimum 2 to 4 years, mid-range AS400 and microcomputer work, working knowledge of installed computer software, ability to provide training and/or instruct employees on computer software and hardware. 40 hours a week, salary per GMEG skilled service level. For the complete posting, you can visit www.middleborough.com, submit letters of interest to Ellen Driscoll, Technology System Administrator, Technology Department, Henry B. Birkland Elementary School, 41 Mayflower Ave, Middleborough, Mass. 02346. Or you can email her at edriscoll@middleborough.k12.ma.us. And again, the deadline for that is tomorrow, so if you're interested, act now. And that would be it.
Let's do it.
There's a celebration of the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Maxim Motor Company. That's on this Saturday, June 21st, from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Middleborough Historical Museum, which is 18 Jackson Street. Some ongoing events during that time are going to be the display of several Maxim fire trucks, the exhibit of the Maxim Motor Company items, display of the Bates School fire of 1954 and the factory's fire of 1974. There will be some images of that. And then there's going to be some children's activities. So if you have any questions, you can call Dorothy Thayer, 508-947-2596.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Mr. McKinnon?
Nothing left.
No, I agree. Look at that, it's just about 7:30. So at this time, I'd like to invite our state representatives up from wherever they are.
Out in the hall.
I got back.
Mr. Kraus, do you miss this?
No, I don't,
You-
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I didn't bring any certificates with me, I don't have anything. I see the good reps representing Middleborough about to come in with the vets.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Provencher, how are you today?
Good. I drove all the way back up from West Yarmouth from being at a conference just to be with you folks tonight. We're going to be honoring World War II veterans tonight. And when we started this project a week ago to figure out who our World War II veterans were, we came up with about 40 still living in Middleborough. Since that time, we've lost 2 in the last week. Joe Hickey and Eugene Whedon, and overall, since the first of the year, we've lost 11 World War II veterans in the community. And if there's 40 that we were able to find out about, there's probably double or triple that number that are living within the community that haven't sought out services through my office or been actively involved with the veterans organizations of the community. But the state representatives, our state representatives from the town that represent our town, would like to present citations to those that are in attendance. We've got 3 more headed in from the Shaw Home as we speak, so hopefully they'll show up before we finish. So I'd like to turn it over to the state representatives.
Thank you, Middleborough Board of Selectmen, for this opportunity to present honor our World War II veterans tonight. I'm joined by my colleagues, Representative Tom Coulter and Representative Susan Williams-Gifford. So we would like to present our citations on behalf of the House of Representatives to the following World War II veterans that are here today.
Right there.
The first award is presented to Norman L. Diegoli, and the award, the citation reads, "Be it hereby known to all, the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Norman L. Diegoli in recognition of your military service to the United States of America during World War II. We honor your bravery and patriotism to our country. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given the 16th day of June, 2014, it's offered by myself and my colleagues. Congratulations. We thank you so much for your service."
Thank you. 2 more. 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 2
for reading the citations to the veterans who are with us today in the room, because some of our honorees could not attend today, and we'll read their names out loud. And if necessary, please raise your hand, and we'll come to you with the citation, if that's going to be with you. The first honoree from my district is Henry Dutra. And it reads as follows. Be it here, we'll read the citations for those that are here, and then for those that are not, we'll read the names. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Henry Dutra in recognition of your military service to the United States of America during World War II. We honor your bravery and patriotism to our country. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all of your endeavors. Given on the 16th day of June, signed by Speaker of the House Robert A. DeLeo, your proud Representative Thomas J. Coulter, and my esteemed colleagues, Kate Hill and Susan.
I would like to make a presentation to one of my constituents, Sherwin Branham. Sherwin? The citations, I believe all the wording is the same, but of course in no way is that to diminish our gratitude for your service, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Special recognition because Sherwin was at D-Day 70 years ago on June 6, 1944. The next citation is for Guy Hudson. Guy, we honor your military service to the United States of America during World War II. We honor your bravery and patriotism to our country.
The citation is for my constituent, Frank Troll. Frank, are you with us?
Thank you, Frank.
Frank, we want to thank you for your service to the military and during World War II. We're all very much indebted to you. Thank you, sir.
And if we could recognize Mr. Earl McAllister Jr.
He's on his way in.
He's on his way in. Okay, we'll just hold on to that for him when he gets here. We'll give him his due.
The next citation is for Anders Martinson. For your military service during World War II.
The next citation is for Joseph Busa. Joseph, are you with us? He's coming.
Right here.
Mr. Busa. Right between these rows. Have more of this.
Mr. Anthony Grinzo. Anthony with us. Is that you, Anthony?
The next citation goes to Walter P. Michael in recognition of your military service to the United States of America during World War II.
Mr. Arthur G. Shaw. Mr. Arthur G. Shaw, you are the sir.
The next presentation is for Mr. Russell Pitsley.
Okay, and this citation goes to Albert F. Soule Jr. Albert F. Soule Jr. Albert Soule. Okay, so the following Middleborough residents were not able to be with us tonight, but we want to honor their World War II service, and so we'd like to read their names, and we'll applaud for them at the end. We have Thomas F. Cockery, Alan Bradford, Robert Sidman, Robert Price, Jesse Meyer, John Gallagher, Morris Spector, and Patrick Cerrone. And we have more World War II veterans that were not able to be with us today, and so many of them are away living with family, or they're in perhaps a nursing home situation. They weren't able to get here tonight, but we want to make sure that we really do honor them and show them how much we appreciate their service. So the following citations will be delivered to Harold Atkins, Ernest Betts, John Caton, Nicholas Drukas, Donald Foy, James A. Francis, Jeffrey G. Hebert. Howard L. Marshall. George J. Michael. George Standish. Francis A. Tees. We are blessed by so many World War II veterans that are still living here in Middleborough. Charles Carey. Louis Gregorius.
Bill McAllister's on the walkway out.
Charles W. Long. William B. Payton. Thank you for your service. One more. And Arthur Turcott, in recognition of your military service to the United States of America during World War II. We honor all of our veterans. We honor especially the World War II veterans tonight for your bravery and patriotism to our country. We have one more veteran who has come out tonight, and we're going to honor him as
Hey folks, while we're waiting for the gentleman, the representatives and I would like to remind everybody that it's every day of the year that we should honor our veterans. We're losing them faster than ever before. And we're reminded of that never more than we have been this week. But we've lost 2 World War II veterans right here in Middleborough. So my colleague Kate Wall is going to present her constituent, and I will be presenting this citation to Eugene Eaton's widow tomorrow morning. Fern is going to, is kind enough to receive me at her home at Oak Point, and tomorrow morning I'll present this citation to Fern on behalf of Eugene Eaton, and I know Representative Kate Wall will be doing the same.
And we'll also be honoring the life of Joseph A. Hickey by presenting this citation to his family. We have two more veterans that we would like to honor, World War II veterans. Emma, 3. We have Emma Sylvia. Is Emma Sylvia here tonight? She's on her way in. She's on her way in. Okay.
Here she is.
Hey, Emma Sylvia.
Hey, Emma, I'm really happy you're here this evening because Rep. Keiko and Rep. Giffen have been getting kisses from all the recipients, and I'm not.
Emma Sylvia. We honor your military service to the United States of America during World War II. We honor your bravery and patriotism to our country.
Thank you for your service, Emma. Are you Earl? You're not Earl. Oh, there's Earl. Hi, Earl. Mr. Earl McAllister, Jr., thank you for your service to our country during World War II. Mr. Gregorius? We got it right. Second try. I'm so sorry, sir. Thank you so much for your service.
Yeah, you won't get this photo again.
Those of you may not
Those
know,
of you who received citations, could you please come forward so that we could
Thank
take
you, Bob.
a group picture? If possible, or
if you can, if not,
we'll move to you.
greatest generation.
That way, we'll just squeeze everybody together and accordion style here. Get everybody to move nice and close.
Guys, move as close as you can, just move as close this way as you can.
I have two uncles who will move.
Guys, move in as close as you can. All right. And I'm going to turn aside. You can share.
I'm gonna stand here in front of these tall gentlemen here.
That's okay, just share.
Okay. Where are we gonna
Open this up. We've done this once, but never with the greatest generation.
I'm gonna stand in the back.
I'm going to stand, you get up front here, and I'm going to get behind you. I'll hold it. Get up there.
Frank, don't let him push you around, Frank.
One more round of applause for the greatest generation. been a shock to see me over the last 7 weeks, building a single apartment. I still have pink parts of my body I didn't know I could see.
That's my daughter when I.
What's up, dude? Oh, really? 27. Wait till you meet her. I mean, no. He's sort of like so was she. She's just always right. You know what? I get that. Not often. Charlie. You know what? I'm sorry I missed Pacheco's grant announcement. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I would have needed an extra pill.
We're heartbroken.
I ran out of medication.
I need two by the end of it.
Thanks for letting us do this, guys.
Busy, but not too busy. Nothing is more than this.
Really? I've got a great house.
Triple decker.
How did you make up?
I'm still working on it.
Really?
Maybe next year I'll have some for you to travel, like train, hostel, backpack situation, someday. Real hotels. Fancy schmancy.
In fact, actually, we stayed in the bed and breakfast. Actually, it's an apartment. That's a great. We stayed in another place here. Right out here. Apartments. Yeah. So that was and we stayed in South Africa. 45 minutes from the train.
I'd like to go there sometime too. There's, I forget what town it is. Well, we see it in Strasbourg, France. I did like a summer abroad in Moscow. But maybe like an hour, oh, it's in Celestat, I think. It's called Monkey Mountain. And it's like this monkey preserve. And you get to like just walk around and like eat and touch the monkeys. And I don't even really like animals. I think it's really
My daughter was in India last year, and there were lots of monkeys and swans. Come right up to you.
They just like jump right on your shoulder.
Dan, you do family law, right?
I do.
So you're not into, I don't know, what's the category? Rental and evictions and all that kind of stuff?
My partner works in that law. I haven't done it in years.
Because we can't evict, we can just recommend.
I don't know.
We're a rent control board, but I'm just wondering. Yeah, and I think a judge has to, we can recommend. Yeah. Exactly.
It's criminal.
I'm curious to see for, well, we're doing the application for eviction. So, I wonder why she hasn't paid. I don't know. It's Oak Point, but then there's also some paperwork from reverse mortgage. I know, but you end up with you leave nothing to your family, nothing to your estate.
I suppose it is. I didn't need supper. I wasn't hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They are popular, at least according to the commercials.
Very nice.
If you judge everything by TV.
Anytime.
Well, it's crazy. I have this right now. It's actually it's still hanging in. You guys hanging out. Oh. I can't get any paperwork from someone, there's parents.
Hey, folks, we're going to try to get back to business. All right, 7:20. We're a little behind schedule.
No, we're not, we're right on time.
We're going to have a U.S. underground storage tank hearing regarding Lorden Oil Company, DBA Lorden Propane on Wareham Street, map 94, lot 1026. Let me find it.
Should be the first thing on the hearing.
What's that?
Should be the first thing on the hearing.
All right.
Are you doing the?
Yeah, I was looking at the PDF. All right, here we go. A hearing will be held in the Selectmen's Meeting Room in Town Hall, 10 Nickerson Avenue, Middleborough, Mass. On Monday, June 16th at 7:20 p.m. for the purpose of discussing an application filed by Outback Engineering on behalf of Carl Cavosa, Lorden Oil Company, DBA Lorden Propane, for a new above-ground fuel storage tank license with a total quantity of 140,000 gallons of propane to be stored and a total quantity of 1,000 gallons of diesel fuel to be stored for property located at Wareham Street, Assessors Map 94, Lot 1026, Middleborough, Mass. Anyone desiring to be heard on this matter should appear at the time and place designated. Okay. Would you like to start?
Would you please
Hey,
speak?
John.
Stand
Yeah.
at the mic. If you need to take it with you.
These are revised plans of the board and propane site plan of the Wareham Street. And we just incorporated the comments from the previous meeting from Atlantic Design and from the building commissioner. We were able to provide additional landscape buffer to the abutter to the north. We did soil testing at the location of the basin, and we changed our water quality tanks to make them offline, and added additional landscape detail for plans. I think that basically covered most of the comments that we got. And I think we were waiting on the latest response comments from the land. We just have those this afternoon. And they seem to be okay with the majority of issues. I think they were outstanding issues regarding the DOT, which is charging towards Wareham Street, so we're going to require approval from DOT. So he's saying if DOT requires any changes, we should submit to the board or get approved from the board. There was an issue regarding the safety fence around the basin. And we wanted to see a head wall out in the basin, which I think just every condition will submit a last plan to it.
Mr. Chairman? Sir, can you point the basin out, where the basin out is on this plan?
This is the proposed infiltration basin. We have an easement from the Boston stuff.
Okay. Acting like,
Just for my own clarification, we're conducting the storage tank hearing right now. I think we're starting to get into some of the WRPD.
oh, okay, yep, you're right,
material.
sorry about that.
Yeah,
So,
I could pick up at that point.
sure.
We submitted plans for storage for shipping. And if you notice on the application, we asked for permission for slightly more than the tank full, the 260,000 gallon tank. So if there's any question regarding why it's more, it is state law to include the aggregate of our vehicles. So the block delivery trucks or a tanker delivering, they had to be incorporated. So typically, you usually add 20 to 30,000 gallons or more. So they look at the aggregate. That's 1,000 gallons of diesel fuel would just be for our own personal use. We wouldn't be reselling that to anybody, public or any.
It's for your fleet.
For our own fleet. And that would be a tank within a tank would be have a double wall tank with containment and alarm system inside the tank. In regards to safety, we addressed a number of issues at the last meeting, but just to reiterate some of those, we would adhere to all state and local regulations that would be required for this type of installation. We have fire safety analysis that was performed by fire science engineer. We have met numerous times with the local fire chief. We seem to be okay with the project at this point. We have significant input in regards to security, fencing around the tanks. We have secure cameras. We have a card system that all employees would have to access the site. We have alarm systems that would notify appropriate emergency personnel as far as police police and fire, management team, and that nature. So we feel like we've covered all the safety aspects and I'm looking for any questions on that.
Any member of the board have any questions? Nope. All right, so I close the hearing?
Yep.
Any member of the public have any comments or questions? With that, I'll close the hearing. And,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. McKinnon?
make a motion to approve the underground storage tank license for Lorden Oil Company, doing business as Lorden Propane. Above-ground storage tank, not to exceed 140,000 gallons of Class 1A propane, and not more than 1,000 gallons of diesel fuel.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Milton?
did you say contingent upon, you had mentioned contingent upon some wall?
That's
That's the
Oh, that's
WRPD.
For the other one?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the other
great. Just want to make sure I'm on the right page.
Incorporate that,
Yeah, 140,000 gallons, yes.
everything the chief wants.
Class 1 and any common property. It can only have 140,000 gallons, that's it, total.
Just didn't want the
That
pavement.
tanks can't be full, and they can't have 2 trailers loaded there. It can only be 140,000 gallons.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. All right. 7:25. I'll open up this hearing as soon as I find it.
Continuation, is it? Yeah.
Yep. Oh, all right. So we'll open up the hearing, continuation of the Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at Town Hall. Oh, that's the wrong one. So, yeah, we'll continue the hearing from June 2nd, 2014, on the Water Resource Protection District. There you go.
John Marchand, Outback Engineering. These are revised site plans. I think we've incorporated all the comments from the building inspector and visual engineer. With the review engineer has the outstanding issues regarding head wall, outlet from the fishing basin. We currently have a proposed just for 4-inch PVC pipe.
You guys are okay with the, if Mass DOT suggests changes, requires changes, you'll submit plans, change?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
feel very confident. Could I just add, maybe, I might be able to clarify that, that head wall is to protect the discharge pipe.
It's actually the discharge pipe leaving the basin.
Right. So this is a protection for the 4-inch pipe that comes up. So I didn't want the board to feel that we need your component, but obviously it's important.
And you're good with fencing in the basin?
We generally don't require fencing in the basins unless you want to do it in this case. Rich generally makes that recommendation. We have not applied it
Okay.
today.
Anybody have any comments on that?
I just want to be able to, how can we word it such that we can revisit that, should we need to at some point down the road? Maybe something happens down there, and it would behoove having a fence put around it, you know? I just don't, is it how deep is that retention basin?
Not very deep, it's less than 4 feet, and it's very seldom that we see any water in there.
Okay.
And it has quite a great slope. So that grade doesn't drop off.
Okay.
I think if there was,
All right.
something happened, we could revisit it. huh?
Okay, all right.
All right. And you guys are good with the head wall?
Yeah.
Anybody else have any other comments, questions?
Do you want them to explain how the old Wareham Street issue has been resolved? There's a memo from the attorney that I just gave you, and I know you haven't had a chance to read it. We just got it today. So that's why I think it's better if the applicant can explain it, because it's, you know, just because that has been raised as a concern.
Well, before the applicant explains, Mr. Chairman, may I?
Sure.
Before the applicant goes through this,
Have you guys seen
what's more
this?
important to me is, has town council reviewed it to say that
No.
this has been blessed?
No,
Because I
Scott,
think we're gonna
that was
need
Scott.
that. Don't we need that, his blessing on this, to make sure that there's,
You know, it never hurts, although remember, it's private property. This is this was a street abandoned back over 100 years ago. So it's been a private way ever since. It's overgrown by trees at this point. It really doesn't function. And what Mr. Cabos is offering is a replacement access point for the abutters, you know, which he has constructed.
okay, so then our issuing a permit, our going ahead, is not gonna be impacted at some point down the road by somebody coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, by the way.
Remember that this was the parcel that we worked on quite a bit when Cisco was looking for a location, and Carl Cavosa was the lead owner. And actually, his partners and the other members who put together the proposal to Cisco were the three other abutters involved in this issue, you know, the three abutters to Old Wareham Street. So, you know, it's always been assumed that they would, you know, combine their parcels and offer them, you know, as one large parcel to a potential buyer.
Right.
In other words, what I'm saying is these property owners have worked together, you know, before. They're known to each other. This issue was understood. You know, if I wasn't familiar with this particular parcel as I am, I might have the same question, but, you know, I think this resolves it by, you know, Mr. Cavosa being willing to record an easement to give to these abutters, you know, an actual access to Wareham Street, whereas right now they've basically got a paper access, which, you know, you couldn't pass over if you wanted to. So I'm fairly comfortable it's ready to go.
We're not, I just want to be sure that somebody's not going to come back to the town at some point and say, what are you guys doing, you know?
Right. Well, again, it's
Do you feel comfortable with this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can go.
Sure.
I have an attorney also that is involved in the project, so there were two attorneys that both weighed in on this, and I wanted to reassure myself there's nothing that would deprive any of these individuals of that right away to any construction. Both attorneys said absolutely not, that deprive them of use of that right of way, and that's included by the allowance of Mr. Cavosa granting that easement, so it's actually an improvement to what they have now. And this is private way, so I'm understanding it's private now.
Okay.
I drafted a vote, you know, it is a formal vote, and I only have, I added the head wall just now because I hadn't talked to the applicant. So only one of you are getting the one, so whoever gets the one with the blue ink should be the one reading the motion. Give it to
Really?
Steve.
You're brave souls, you.
Yeah,
I have to give it to Steve. I
Steve
can't
likes to
make
do
it.
them. He likes these anyway.
Those are your comrades down there.
No, only one of them is, was.
I'd entertain a motion.
No, you want to close the hearing first?
Oh, all right, we'll close
Oh,
the
wait a
hearing.
minute. You want to make sure nobody else wants to speak
Does anyone
about
else have any other comments? Questions?
it? So anxious to get me to read this thing.
Close the hearing. I would entertain a motion, Mr. McKinney.
Mr. Chairman, I entertain the motion that the board finds that the proposed use is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the WRPD bylaw, will promote the purposes of the Water Resource Protection Districts. It's appropriate to the natural topography, soils, and other characteristics of the site to be developed. Will not, during construction or thereafter, have an adverse environmental impact on the aquifer, recharge areas, or water resources of the town. will not adversely affect any existing or potential water supply. The board votes to grant a special permit to allow for the construction of a propane distribution facility and its associated parking at the Wareham Street as requested by the applicant's application under the Water Resource Protection District bylaw pursuant to Section 8.2.8 WRPD Zone 3 Use Regulations 3F based on the plan titled Site Plan for the Wareham Street in Middleborough, Massachusetts, prepared for Lord and Propane by Outback Engineering, dated May 21st, 2014, and revised June 13th, 2014. The board grants the special permit with the following conditions. A, Mass DOT approval of the direct discharge to the draining system and a curb cut on Wareham Street. Should Mass DOT not allow a direct tie-in to their drainage system, the special permit shall not be effective. B, should Mass DOT require revisions in the plan should be submitted to the board for their review and approval. Should the revisions not be acceptable by the board, the special permit shall not be effective. C, compliance with all zoning regulations. D, recording an easement by Mr. Gavosa attached permitting abutters of Old Wareham Street to cross over his parcel to access Wareham Street. And E, construction of a head wall for the 4-inch PVC outlet pipe on the infiltration basin.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Welcome. Welcome to the town.
All right, 7:30, rent board hearing. Application for eviction through Oak Point, well, with attorney Robert Kraus.
Actually, I have to read the hearing notice.
I gotta find it first.
See it.
Thank you.
Would you like
Okay.
my,
Getting it.
paper copy?
I'm getting it. I gotta find it.
I know, it's probably a lot.
I got it. Thanks.
You know,
Please take notice that the Town of Middleborough Rent Board, the Rent Board, will hold a hearing on Monday, June 16, 2014, at 7:30 PM in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at Middleborough Town Hall in Middleborough, Mass. The hearing will be conducted pursuant to the authority under the Rent Board's rules and regulations for mobile home park accommodation, rents, and evictions in Chapter 703 of the Acts of 1985 to consider a petition filed by Hometown Oak Point 2 LLC for a certificate of eviction of Patricia A. Hurst regarding the eviction from Oak Point, the park. Hearing procedures will be governed by informal fair hearing rules pursuant to 801 CMR 1.02. The park owner and the tenant shall each have the right to participate in the hearing and have the right to be represented at the hearing by an authorized representative or attorney. They or their representative attorney shall have the right to prepare and present relevant evidence and argument at the hearing. The issues involved in the hearing include whether the tenant has failed to pay the required rent, whether a certificate of eviction will be issued by the Rent Board. Town of Middleborough Rent Board, Alan Frawley, Leilani Delpy, John Knowlton, Diane Stewart, and Mr. McKinnon.
Mr. Chairman, good evening, and through you to the board.
Do I open the hearing? Mr. Kraus, do I open the hearing now?
Yep.
And the hearing's open. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, through you to the board, Jackie and Charlie, I'm here on behalf of Oak Point. With me tonight is Peter Cohen, the general manager. I don't know if you've had a chance. Fred Taylor has moved on to Florida, so Peter runs Oak Point. We're here based upon a request for eviction. We proceeded against Patricia Hurst, and we provided May 5th documents to the board in compliance with the bylaw, Section 10. We've tried to serve Ms. Hurst by certified mail, which is the obligation under 140-32J, and also served at some subject premises by constable. So we believe that we have complied with 32J. We haven't received any rent since November. We've had no communication. We've sent communications to Ms. Hurst, we've sent it to her bank, we sent it to every known address that we have. She's not there, no one's there. And we have a situation where the house is evidently vacant, and that presents a real difficulty for us, not just monetarily, but having vacant homes is not good for anybody in the community. So we took this action, and under Section 10 of the bylaws, we go through this proceeding. This only allows us to go to the housing court, which is a summary process eviction, and there's all the protections with respect to notice, and a judge and the clerk magistrate overseeing this. As of now, as you can see from the paperwork that we supplied, we're over about $4,500, but as much as that, the house is vacant, and we don't have any other address, and we sent certified mail, which is our obligation under 32J. We've tried to serve it. We've done everything we possibly can. And we're asking your permission to allow us to go forward, which only allows us now to go to the court. And we have the same burdens about notice, and I think the court understands, because I've appeared in front of the House of Court umpteen times with respect to manufactured housing. And the court is very aware of the fact that empty houses creates issues. Because if the pipes burst, or the roof leaks, or there's something that happens in the house, there's no one to get a hold of. We have no alternatives. So we're asking for your permission to go forward. We've tried every which way we can to get a hold of Ms. Hurst. And again, the record is replete with the evidence that meets the bylaw, the rent control bylaw, about what our obligations are.
Anyone have any questions?
I have a couple of questions.
Mr. McKinnon?
Has anybody checked the house to see if she's still in there?
We did about a month ago, and there was no sign of anybody there.
Yeah, it's, you know, God forbid that someone is falling down. We take that precaution. The neighbors, we just haven't seen anybody. I mean, there's no.
Have you been inside the house?
No, we don't. We're not allowed under the law. We can't enter the house. I mean, most times, as you know, like most manufactured housing, and Old Point in particular, the neighbors are the best protector of their neighbors. You know, so we haven't seen anybody. It's nothing. No sounds, no smells, no, you know, nothing. We're at a loss what to do, and that's why we took this action, and we're hoping through the process, because it's still a lengthy process under Mass General Laws, the summary process 239, to go through this, to get an eviction execution. And we took the extra step, if you'll notice, of sending by certified mail the notice to the bank. Because, you know, they typically are in communication with the borrower, and we haven't heard anything from them, which is very strange. And so that's why we're asking. We don't come before you very often on these evictions. Right? I don't think I've ever done one. But this is the unusual step that we have to take.
I guess it's not our purview to worry about it, but I'm just concerned that if something happened to her, that's, you know.
Yeah, well,
I think
the
if
management checks.
If someone was in the house, they'd know by now.
Well, yeah, if they were in the house, but maybe they've been.
We'll take the step of calling the police again, and you know, because we don't have access. The law restricts us from entering the premises because of the privacy of the individual who owns and resides in the manufactured home.
There's no next of kin or anything?
We've tried to get in touch with several people, and we just get no response from anyone.
Yeah, the certified mail came back unreceived, and then we took the step on, I think, March 19th, we delivered it via constable. And there's his certification. There's no other better way to do this. If we had an alternative address, we would have used it. And I'm suggesting to you that the protections that you're seeking through your bylaw, Section 10, are the same ones and then some that we'll go through with the court.
Any comments or questions?
Mr. Chairman, the bank didn't have any kind of forwarding information either. Were they able to disclose to you if they had made any of the payments to her recently?
We sent it by certified mail in February of 2014 to Reverse Mortgage Solutions in Nashville. They received it. I have their green card. Haven't received any communications from them.
Did you try to call them to see if they...
They're not going to tell us anything. The privacy laws being what they are, it's worse than HIPAA in dealing with the bank and the privacy afforded to the borrowers. All we did is we have an obligation to put them on notice. In my experience, that typically engenders a response. Nothing. And I would have shared it with Jackie, I would have shared it with the board. Frankly, that's our preference, is that we have some level of communication with the persons.
I just think I should share that the notice I sent her just came back today. But I called the post office on Friday because I hadn't received the green card, just so I'd know what was happening tonight. And the post office advised me that there was a forward put on this mail over a year ago, but it has since expired, so they have no current mailing address.
The last payment
And
was,
it was returned to me, unable to forward. They tried, so.
the last payment we received is sort of November of 2013. And we didn't run out and do the notice to quit. We waited and tried to communicate. And so we've been at this since February, when, it's more a notice to say what's going on, you want to talk to us, we need some help, etc. But it's dead silent. So that's why we took the extraordinary step of moving forward in this manner. And we have no alternatives. We're here to comply with the file.
Okay.
I guess my only concern was that where it's over 55 community, that single person wandered off, but
Well,
apparently...
Jackie's telling me they're forwarding their mail. There's some intention
Yeah.
to abandon. Massachusetts doesn't have an abandonment statute. There are some cases on point, but that's not the preferred method. The preferred method is to do what we did. Notice to quit, 30-day notice under 32J, 15-day or nothing.
There's nobody here from the... Okay.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what else we could, I don't think we can ask them to do anything else, and I don't know what else we could
No,
do.
they'll just go to the next steps now.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And the housing court doesn't require publication in the newspaper.
They might, but again, either Judge Chaplin or Judge Edwards, if they hear, and the clerks are to hear what we've done, they'll see compliance. If I had started the process by having them served by constable, it would have been improper. I have to do it by registered or certified mail. And as the post office will tell you, that doesn't guarantee receipt, it guarantees delivery, or an attempt to get it delivered. That's how the law is written, under 32J. We're going to continue to endeavor to communicate. Look, I don't have to tell you, no point, if one person knows, everybody knows in about 10 minutes. So it's a small community. People take care of one another. They communicate. They maybe through this process, and it's televised. Hopefully you'll give us.
Oh, you're on TV up there right now. Rest assured.
And I am certain that Mr. Conan and I, if someone knows where Patricia Hearst is, please call Peter.
That's the thing, at a point, the homeowners look out for each other. We'll constantly get calls from other homeowners, we'll get calls from the fire department, the police department, saying that someone's missing, or they haven't seen someone, we'll check the house, we'll have interest.
And that's not months, that's hours.
And I've been there 12
Yeah,
years,
that's hours.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, is any other comments or questions from the board? Any other comments or questions from the audience?
Just who owns the house? If the eviction process goes forward, since I understand if you don't pay rent, you're not paying rent, but the person might still be paying the mortgage or whatever. Who owns the house?
You want me to explain?
Sure.
Okay. It gets complicated. So, here's the deal. We know that there's a UCC1 on the premises. Reverse mortgage has a security interest in it, but it's unperfected. So what typically, meaning that they have the security interest that just hangs out there. If we go to judgment, if we get an execution for $5,000, let's just, or $2,000, whatever the amount of rent is, what we would do is get an execution, which the court says, or we go to the sheriff and say, levy on it. Now, the bank in this process will be forced to either take the home back or make its intentions known. Because anybody buying the house, let's say if it goes to the sheriff's sale, which is the ultimate conclusion, that the house is put up for sale by public process for the bank in order to sell it. If the bank doesn't foreclose on its interest, then someone buys the house subject to that mortgage, subject to that security interest, as opposed to a foreclosure on a stick-built house. Okay? I liken it, it's a chattel security interest, not a real estate security interest. So let's say that this person never comes forward. The bank will typically come forward to protect its security interest. I don't know what the loan amount is. I don't think I can look at the UCC once at the Secretary of State, anybody can. But I'm sure it's not insignificant. That's my recollection. The bank will take and secure its security interest before someone buys it short, meaning less than the security interest. But that's down the road. That is down the road, downstream from where we are right now. Hopefully Ms. Hurst will come forward. Hopefully your bank will say, we found her, here's what she wants to do. But we don't have next of kin, we don't have friends, cousin, anything. We have no idea where she is, as Jackie indicated. And I know Jackie called me a couple times saying, where is she? We don't know. And we're not doing this in the dead of night. We've been at this now for about 4 months, trying to locate Ms. Hurst.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Ms. Lopes?
I'm sorry. I still don't understand. If just somebody doesn't pay the rent, then, and they're there, but they're still there, can you take the house?
If someone, Mr. Chairman, through you, if someone does not...
Just so we clarify, this is a hypothetical situation right now that we're discussing.
That's why I said it's someone. I didn't say Ms. Hurst.
I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Right, because I'm not a call-in radio show on manufactured housing. I'm trying to answer Ms. Lowe's question. If someone doesn't pay their rent, that is an obligation under the statute. The ultimate remedy is to go to court, get a judgment for the amount of rent that's owed, and then have the sheriff levy on it. Typically, people pay it at that point. But ultimately, the sheriff has the authority, under the summary process statute, to sell the home in order to recompense the landowner. That's the ultimate remedy.
Okay.
It's complicated because there's a bank here. That's what I was trying to get at. And typically, the bank will step up to protect what it lent to the person before it's sold out from underneath them for less than that. Hypothetically. Hypothetically, Mr. Chairman.
All right, does anyone else have any other questions? Jane, you good? All right. Any member of the board have any other questions or comments? All right, I'll close the hearing. And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the eviction certificate, certificate of eviction.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Passes unanimously. All right. At 8:15, we'll have a WRPD hearing regarding Cumberland Farms at 150 South Main Street. And I would entertain a motion to continue that to the 14th.
So moved.
Second.
At 7:30 p.m.?
At 7:30 p.m. I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Wait a minute, you skipped,
Sorry.
you skipped the liquor license hearing at 8?
Did I?
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No, you can vote it. You take it out, might as well, all you're doing is continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
So a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. At 8 o'clock.
Who
Sorry,
motioned?
sir.
I motion it.
We'll have a liquor license hearing.
Who seconded it?
I gotta find that now. Okay, a hearing will be held by the Board of Selectmen on Monday, June 16, 2014, at 8 p.m. in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at Town Hall, located at 10 Nickerson Avenue, Middleborough, Mass., for the purpose of discussing an application made by the Convenience Store, Inc., DBA Joe's for a wine and malt beverage packaged goods store liquor license. Property located at 26 High Street, Middleborough, Mass., Assessors Map 50N, Lot 5961, Middleborough, Mass. Anyone desiring to be heard on this matter should appear at the time and place designated. With that, I'll open the hearing.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing today? Good.
Joseph Saya, owner of the convenience store, DBA Joe's, on the High Street. It's the Air Prime gas station. As you have proposing it's an existing building that has two garages. Our intention was never to open it as a garage, keep it clean as possible. We eliminated the store that we have now, suspended it from the garage completely. We need to, it's not a professional landing because we try to keep the cost as low as possible so we can move on with the construction after. It's about 15 by 30, 400 square feet, the new addition, which is a one garage. We're going to eliminate the frontage. Middleborough Glass, he's the one who built the front. He's going to match, of course, after you guys agree. He's going to match the frontage with the glass and the stonework. We remove the wall that we put inside, which is sheetrock and 2x4. That's the access to the garage. And the divider between the last bay and the new installation, it would be just a walk-in cooler. That will save us quite a bit of money on also construction. The building that Sitco used to be, it's a steel building on the inside. Very easy to clean and paint. That's also a couple of bucks on the construction, just drop ceiling, electricity is there. I don't know, guys, what else you have any questions? I've held that previous on Grove Street, and we had, when we leased out the business, it was a lease to transfer it, you guys approved it. We never got into trouble, having anybody, cigarettes and whatever. We have all the records on both stores.
Anybody have any questions?
Did Bob Whalen respond back? I saw we sent him a letter, but did he respond back?
I gave Jackie all the green.
Oh, that's
You
different.
got the green?
If there's no response in there, then he didn't. A lot of these have been getting to them late, because, which my memo says.
Sure.
So if there's nothing in there.
So
then
there's
he-
no issues
Two
there?
of them, or one that came, nobody's home.
Oh, he's talking about a department.
No, I'm talking about the building inspector,
You're okay on that.
because we have to send these to different departments.
I haven't heard
And we usually, because we like to get all the information from our department heads back, so that we know they've seen it, they're on. No problem, I can understand that. So,
If I may add, for the building inspector, there is no adding structural, there is no structural,
okay,
only tile and drop ceiling, not removing walls. The only thing that we're removing is that the removal, it's garage doors. We're gonna remove and actually fix, just like, you guys must know.
Fill it in.
right.
The front will be the same stone and the glass. There's no structural.
You pull a building permit for that, though?
The building, absolutely.
Okay,
It's
All
a
right.
little bit away.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
yeah, I know.
It would
I
be,
like it.
building, electrical, all that.
Yeah, okay,
Of course, it has to be inspected. I understand all the legality.
okay. And you have the green cards?
Adam's construction is registered with the town, by the way, and of course, Middleborough Glass has been here forever.
Anybody else have any other comments or questions?
What programs or software do you have in place to make sure that your employees aren't selling to underage
We have,
people?
everybody has, we scan ID, and I'm gonna send everybody to this, make sure they have license, like myself.
Do you,
Enforce as much as possible. You always have, we had a discussion, you always have an employee that a beautiful girl is gonna walk in, who's underage. It might not, it's a chance that we take doing business, but I enforce it 190% on my employees to card, even my mom. I don't care, they have to be carded. We all go to football games, and we don't look 19, I wish that, but you get carded. So they have to card everybody, regardless. They know they do it now, even though we don't have it in mind. The director shows with the police department all these things that we always ask, You develop a relation with the customer, you know them, you don't ask them, of course. But when you have somebody you have a doubt, ask for an argument. I'd rather just say it than lose my license.
so your policy is that unless the person knows the customer, you card everyone, even if they look...
It's not just knows the customer. It has to be had carded before. And one day, every day you buy a pack of cigarettes, it's an insult for you to, keep asking, come on. This is a small town, we like the relation with the customer. So make it easy. So they got, Jackie. Can't ask Jackie when she looks beautiful, but not every day.
God, you'll do anything to get this license, won't you?
Is that where you buy your booze every day?
No,
They're not open yet.
But yeah, they have to, if they're not, they have to ID. If in doubt, ask for an ID. And we have signs with ID. Legally, we have to have the signs. We have them, we use them. We don't just have them in the doors.
You're not selling any of that synthetic,
No. As soon as you guys said stop, I was the first one to do it.
all right, beautiful,
I got notified in the mail, and the lady came down, and she checked, gone.
beautiful.
Of
Any
course,
other-
I sold it, yes. I made good money.
Let's not start that conversation. We're doing great right now, so let's keep it that way.
That's fine. I mean, that's what's there.
Anybody else have any other comments or questions?
None.
All right, I'll close the hearing.
Motion.
Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve the transfer of the license to the new location?
It's not a fast.
No.
It's a new-
It's a brand new one.
It's a new one?
Yep.
All right, so, well, you insulted me by not saying I was young and pretty, so
I mean, I can't say.
I don't know
you're
what to
pretty,
say
but
about
handsome.
Well,
what's the proper wording we want to have here? Entertain a motion to approve the beer and wine, malt, beverage, package liquor license?
Second.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck. Oh, that's all right, I just won't buy any of my booze there.
He's used to it.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Town managers report.
Mr. Chairman, I passed out a memo tonight. Last Friday, Chief Gates notified us that he was going to retire in September. So I put together a process and a schedule for replacing him. I think we need to begin the process right away. I think it's in our interest to make a selection before he leaves. So I've given you a timeline for how we can do that. I'm recommending that we keep the recruitment to within the department. I think we've got a number of very good candidates that we've got on the department now. I don't think we need to do a nationwide search. And I'm also suggesting that you consider to combine an assessment center process with your interviews so that you just get more information about the candidates. It's something that's being done more and more in communities, and I've given you a little information about that if you'd like to read about that tonight. That's not anything you have to decide on today. But I do think in order to get the process started so we can hopefully have somebody on board by September 12th, that we at least post the position this week, and then it'll give you time if you want to consider any changes to the job description. If you want to consider an assessment center, we would have time to do that before we have to move forward to the next step of the process.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. McKinnon?
Do we have to wait so long to advertise? Because, I mean, the message isn't going like across the country, it's going across the street. You know, can we cut that down to a couple of weeks?
No, you could. I mean, there's no harm in doing that. You know, if you want to, I mean, that's.
I want to get the interviews and the assessment. Why don't you explain a little bit about the assessment process?
Well, the assessment center process brings together public safety professionals, management professionals from other communities, and they put the candidates through a series of exercises. And then the performance on those exercises is rated by the professionals, the raters, and then that information goes to you and informs you, for your interview process. So it actually takes place first. We would announce the candidates, put them through the assessment center, and then you would interview. So that's how it would work.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. McKinnon, Mr. Knowlton, I'm sorry.
Through you to Charlie. The assessment center would be most likely used with external candidates, though, if it's internal?
No. Oftentimes it's as used as often with internal candidates as external candidates. Okay. I mean, you basically what you're doing is you just provide yourself more information about your candidates to help you make a decision. I mean, the alternative is just to go right to an interview, and certainly that's how we did it last time. But like I said, I've observed that more and more communities are using assessment centers, at the higher end and even down into the supervisor ranks in some cases. So just wanted to throw that out to you, give you, an option to consider that, and I think it could be useful.
Okay, thank you.
I personally like the idea of an assessment center to give us, because there aren't too many decisions that are going to be as important as this one in my mind. This is the police chief of the community where we all live, where our families are. This has a direct impact on us, and I'm pretty happy to say I have very limited experience with police and their ability to run a police station and enforce the laws. So I don't have a ton of experience in this type of thing. I would certainly welcome any opportunity to learn more about that and have a professional recommendation as far as that goes. That's my opinion.
Yep.
But I agree we should start this as soon as possible. I'd rather have a police chief waiting in the wings than not have a police chief at all. So, what should we?
Well, I would. Where we're going in-house, we're not going out-of-house. We're not putting this across the world. I think there's the people who are going to apply probably already know that they are going to apply. So there's won't be a lot of decision-making of, or hand-wringing on their part. They'll be ready to jump. So I'd like to see that cut back. And I'd like to see the candidates announced earlier so that we can start the assessment center and get that going. Because we'll have to you're bringing people in the summertime to do this. And you got to work a lot of different schedules around, So, I mean, I want to give enough time so we can get the assessment centers done. It's another valuable tool.
Well, if we made the deadline the 11th, we could announce it at the meeting on the 14th.
Okay.
And then perhaps even on the 14th, we could have the consultant in who will run the assessment center and have him discuss that with you, and talk about the process from there.
That would be good. I think that would be good. I think we'll move it up and make sure we have enough time to do all of our, our interviews, because I know a lot of us are going to have to get some questions together, research good test questions for the candidates when we interview them. We want to make sure we do a good interview process, because we want to pick the best person.
You guys okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make that change to the, you know, the posting, and actually, we'll get it, you know, we'll get it up tomorrow. You know, we'll put it up tomorrow, so it still gives them, you know, about the same amount of time. And I'll attempt to schedule the consultant in to come in on the 14th.
Okay, good.
Sounds good. Anything else?
That's all I have, thank you.
All right. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Signatures.
The letter...